Hi, it's Danny with Words Are Matter. Let's talk about evolving our culture from hierarchy to heterarchy in the simplest, most effective, efficient, super speedy, quick way. I've talked before about how the overarching construct enslaving our culture right now is hierarchy. Hierarchy is a system of organization that ranks one group above the other. Hierarchy purports that for someone to be on top, someone's got to get the raw end of the deal. Hierarchy is all about these types of status positions. Hierarchy keeps us separate and divided in lack and in limitation and in scarcity, competing for an allegedly limited array of resources. Hierarchy has infected all of our structures and our systems. It's in our school and it's in our courts and it's in everything, right? Hierarchy is the overarching umbrella that is containing our societal structure. And I've said before, the overarching umbrella that is holding hierarchy in place is language. Language is what perpetuates hierarchy. We speak it, right? Anytime I say, you should go to my chiropractor, I'm alleging that I have authority over you, that I know better, and I am going like this. I'm placing myself above, I'm putting you down, and I am feeding the hierarchical construct. So that is a tiny, tiny example. This is happening, hundreds and thousands and illions of times a day. We're all speaking to this type of status, this type of disempowering privileging of time. When I say, I don't have time, I just gave my power away to time. Now time's up here and I'm down here. And again, hierarchy is strengthened, right? So the way that we evolve out of hierarchy is by evolving the language. It's instead of speaking hierarchy, we speak heterarchy. Heterarchy is a system of organization that ranks no group over the other. In a heterarchical system, we are all equal, right? Everyone has different superhero skills and performs different functions, but there's no qualitative difference placed upon those, right? No one is put upon a pedestal and no one is held down. We're all valued equally and we're all empowered. That's really the key. Hierarchy is really, really dependent upon our buying into the illusion of our disempowerment. In heterarchy, we are all equal. And this is where I am stoked to see us evolve. Now, the task of evolving our entire culture and all the structures and systems that comprise it from hierarchy to heterarchy, or from dysfunctional to functional, seems overwhelming for a lot of people, right? So many moving parts. Oh my God, how do we do this? Do we have time? There's all this panic around it. And it's actually quite simple and is slated to be very graceful. So imagine something toxic spills in the ocean. I know, it's really, really hard to imagine because that would be so irresponsible and reckless of us as humans, planetary custodians, to allow something toxic to spill into our oceans. But let's suspend our disbelief for a moment and pretend that there is a toxic spill infecting the ocean. Duly poisoned, this toxin is affecting all the different ocean creatures differently. The whale is exhibiting signs of gum disease. The angler has vertigo. The flounder has IBS and gas and tons of belly pain. The jellyfish is running hot, has chronic fever. The starfish has some autoimmune thing, achy joints, brain fog, low energy, weird rashes, can't really figure it out. And the seahorse is chronically depressed, can barely get out of bed. So we have all these different issues because the toxicity is affecting all the creatures differently. So we bring in a periodontist to consult with the whale, and we bring in a bunch of tools to help the angler. None of that works, so then we call in a polarity therapist. The flounder sees an upper GI guy who puts him on probiotics and an anti-inflammatory diet. The jellyfish invests in a bunch of invertebrate cooling devices. The starfish is consulting with an integrative specialist who orders a full blood panel because he can't figure out what's going on. And the seahorse consults a therapist who puts him on SSRIs, which give him dry mouth and erectile dysfunction. This is a really inefficient way to go about it, and none of it is even going to be all that effective because the ocean is still toxic. Or we could quite simply purify the ocean and watch as all the creatures return to homeostasis. Ta-da! We purify our language, and the way that we do this is that we stop speaking hierarchy, we stop speaking that separation and that status into our shared collective field, and we start speaking heterarchy. The more we speak heterarchy, the more we speak our equality, we speak our inclusivity, we speak our empowerment, we speak our abundance, and we speak our peace, then that purifies our culture. Then everything that emerges from those words, from that language, will necessarily reflect that heterarchy, will necessarily reflect that equality, that empowerment, that inclusivity, that peace, that abundance. We speak the new culture into existence, and then we live into that. We live into the language. Stay tuned. Keep watching, because we will continue to unpack the hierarchy, heterarchy conversation, and in the meantime, share this video far and wide to help people start to get their footing in the conversation, to start expanding the dialogue and start attuning our minds and our attention to hierarchy and to hierarchical languaging patterns while we together learn to speak heterarchy and to purify the oceans of our culture, purify the language, and evolve our culture for the way better. Thanks for paying attention. Remember, every word matters. You are omniscopic amazingness. Have a rockin' day. Mwah.